So I think anytime we get the opportunity to talk about how much money Disney is losing, I think that automatically makes this a good video and a good day. So make sure you guys smash that like button. But of course, we're going to be talking about today how Disney Plus just recently announced that they have lost 4 million subscribers in the second straight quarterly drop. Streaming losses narrowed by 26%, guys. Wow. That is an insane number. 4 million subscribers in the second quarter. Do you guys know how much money that is? Just take the subscription and times it by 4 million, and that's how much money Disney is losing every month in comparison to where they were before. It is an ungodly number. We're going to get into this article and talk about it some more, but of course, before we do, guys, consider giving this video a like so you can push us out into the YouTube algorithm. So it says Disney Plus shed another 4 million subscribers in the first 3 months of 2023. Wow. Marking the streamer's second consecutive quarterly drop after closing 2022 with its first ever decline. On the bright side, the Mouse House also managed to narrow its streaming business losses by $400 million, which is down 26% year over year. On Wednesday, CEO Bob Iger and co. beat Wall Street estimates for Disney's quarterly earnings and revenue due to an impressive January through March showing at the company's theme park. Now, that's what we talk about all the time, guys. Like, with Disney, their theme parks are what's keeping them alive. Without their theme parks, they have nothing. Can you imagine if Disney was just a streaming company and doing what they've been doing without their theme parks? They would have been bankrupt by now. They would have been gone. That's it, all done. There's no way they would have been able to keep up with this. The problem is that their theme parks make so much money, admittingly, that it allows them to then bolster their streaming services and take the losses so they could push out their diversity content, their woke content, and all that stuff. They could keep pushing it out without fear of ever going actually bankrupt, because even if they lose hundreds of millions of dollars on the streaming aspect and hundreds of millions of dollars on the movies aspect, they can make it up in their theme parks. That's how much money they're making. Think about that. It's an insane level of money. So it says, that win comes during a fiscal Q2, which concluded April 1st, plagued by company-wide layoffs, a looming and now active writer strike, and a turf war with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Did they call him Rick DeSantis? What the hell? That's weird. Disney ended the quarter with 157.8 million subscribers at Disney Plus, significantly missing Wall Street's estimate of 163.17 million subs. That projected figure would have been up from the 161.8 million subs Disney Plus fell to the prior quarter. So Wall Street really thought that Disney was going to make up the loss, and in fact, they actually ended up losing even more, which goes to show when you get woke, man, you go broke at the end of the day, and it's not going to be able to sustain itself. If they keep losing the amount of money that they're losing, there's no way they're going to be able to sustain themselves. Yeah, the theme parks are making money, but then what happens when you run out of money from the theme parks? You're gonna need money to run the theme parks, right? So after a while, all that extra money is gonna have to go into the theme parks if you keep depleting it from the streaming services. So no matter how much money they be making from their parks, they cannot continue to lose this amount of money on the streaming services. It's just never going to work. We say it all the time. Disney is absolutely going broke in their movies and in their streaming services. They haven't had a big hit in a while, and I know they need one. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever wasn't a big hit. You can say 800 some odd million dollars, but when you cut that number by 50% and you only take home about 400 some odd million dollars, then you start to realize that it wasn't that big of a hit. It's damn sure not a Super Mario hit. That's for sure. Super Mario is well above anything Disney has ever done, which is really sad considering it's the first one of its kind, in terms of animated film anyway. It says this second sub drop was driven by a 4.6 million sequential decline at Disney Plus Hotstar, the latest version of the service offered in India and parts of Southeast Asia. Last year, Disney lost streaming rights to Indian Premier League (IPL) cricket matches, which prompted it to lower growth targets for Disney Plus Hotstar in India. In the US, Canada, Disney lost about 300,000 subs to reach 46.3 million, while it added nearly 1 million in international markets excluding Disney Plus Hotstar. Hulu gained 200,000 in the quarter to stand at 48.2 million, and ESPN Plus increased by 400,000 to 25.3 million. During Disney's earnings call with analysts later Wednesday, Iger, who returned to his post as CEO last fall upon the ousting of Bob Chapek, announced that Hulu content will be introduced on Disney Plus later this year in a one-app experience. Now, apparently, they're combining the two different services into one app. So now you're not going to have a Hulu app or a Disney Plus app. Now it's all just going to be one singular app, which is going to be interesting to me how that's going to work. But again, only time will tell. It says also on the call, CFO Christine McCarthy announced Disney is in the process of reviewing the content of our DTC services to align with strategic changes in our approach to content curation and will be removing certain content from our streaming platforms. Oh, interesting. What content? I can only imagine what content you're going to be removing from your streaming platforms. They're probably not going to announce it yet because they don't want to piss off all the wokies, but I guarantee you a lot of the stuff they're going to be removing is probably woke content, most likely, because that shit just doesn't sell at the end of the day. No matter how bad you may want to think it could, or no matter how bad you may want it to, it just doesn't sell. And I know it makes some people sad, but it's just the truth. According to McCarthy, Disney expects a write-down in Q3 of 1.5 to 1.8 billion from removing the content. McCarthy also said, going forward, we intend to produce lower volumes of content in alignment with this strategic shift. The content spending cuts will be hit primarily in 2024 because so much has already been committed this year. Wall Street forecasts earnings per share of 93 cents on 21.78 billion in revenue, according to analyst consensus data provided by Refinitiv. Disney reported adjusted EPS of 93 cents on 21.82 billion in revenue. Disney posted negative free cash flow of 168 million for the quarter. Wow, man, these numbers are just wild to me. And I know, like, we can speak about these numbers and just say them out loud as if it means nothing, but these numbers are astronomical. Think about what these numbers mean in terms for the company as a whole and just in general. They're just insane numbers. To not only it's insane numbers in general, but then to lose that amount of money is just even more insane. Starting with its fiscal Q2 of 2022, Disney restructured its financial results into two segments: Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution, and Disney Parks Experience and Products. And again, we've said it all the time. Like whenever we say Disney is getting woke and going broke, we're talking about their media sector. We're not talking about their parks, their products, their toys, all this stuff. We're not stupid. We're not talking about that stuff. Their media sector is absolutely going broke. Their entire streaming service, their movies, their animated films, everything that they are doing in the media sector is going broke. Their TV shows don't hit anymore. They get canceled usually in the first season. If they get multiple seasons, the viewership literally declines hard. Look at The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian lost almost 400 million minutes viewed compared to season 2 across all the episodes. It's insane. So again, Disney cannot afford to keep this going, at least not in that sector. They could do whatever the hell they want in their parks because clearly the money they're making from their parks is fantastic and they're doing everything right in their parks, even though their parks are now getting woke and they're having LGBTQ nights and all this stuff just to try to get people to feel included and all that other nonsense. They're still going to be making a ton of money at the end of the day because they overcharge like crazy. And you got all these rich families that want to go to Disney World and take their kids and spend $10,000 to $20,000 for a weekend. It's just crazy the amount of money they spend. Not including all the stuff that happens in the parks, the food, the rides, everything. It's just the products, the toys. It's crazy money. Everything is upcharged. Everything is stupid expensive. So of course they're going to keep making tons of money from their parks. I don't think that's ever going to stop. Honestly, I really don't. I don't think that's ever going to stop. I think Disney World, or the idea of Disney World, is ingrained in a lot of people to be like that vacation spot, right? Where they want to take their kids to have that Disney World experience. So I never think that that's ever going to stop. But as we can see from this report, they have lost an ungodly amount of money in their streaming services. Their movies, we know, we report about it all the time, are failing left and right. They had Ant-Man lose almost $125 million plus in the box office. And hopefully for them, like I said in my last video, they can make some money off of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But the chance of that happening is probably slim to none once you start taking a cut of the money. And the budget on that film is pretty big last I checked. So again, they need to make an ungodly amount of money to break even on that. And they're just, the chance of them doing that is probably very slim to none. But we're going to find out in the future as time goes on and see what happens. But Disney is definitely 100% getting woke and going broke in their entertainment sector. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.